Hi guys, it's Belle here, and it is time for day 29 of #CreepOnJune 2025, created by the wonderful Tracy Fox. As always, down below in my description box, you can find the links to her YouTube, Etsy and website. That is also where you can find her stunning Nevermore ledger kit that we have all been working with. And don't forget, on her website, you'll also find the calendar. If you click on that day, it will take you over to the creator who's making something wonderful for the collaboration. Please do go over and support them. I know we all really appreciate it. And I'm feeling a little bit sad. Only one more make after this one, guys. But this is actually, I think, going to be my last make for the Creep on June journal. I think my final make is going to be something separate. So yeah, this is kind of the end of our story. Now I will say I'm not going to tell you the whole story all the way through here, nor when I go through all the pieces of ephemera. You will have to wait until the journal is finished for me to actually tell you the story from start to finish, because I'll be working on it whilst I'm also working on the journal. So do click that subscription bell if you want to be notified of when that video goes up, and I hope you're not too disappointed with that, but it's been a busy month and I just think it'll be works better if I tell you the story alongside showing you the completed journal. So we have these two pieces for today, guys. We have a tag and this little piece, and I am thinking I'm going to make another pocket tag combo. I've been making quite a lot of them throughout this challenge. I like them. Journals can always do with pockets and tags, and as it is the final make for the journal, it is going to be all linked to Poe and his beloved. Now I have been sort of using the purple tags more for them, but this is today's base and this is the make, the story piece that I want to make. So I don't think it matters that this one is orange. Now the first thing I'm going to do, as always, is I am going to measure this out on my piece of paper so that we know how big the pocket is going to be. So let me get that. Where's my piece of paper? That's not it. There it is. And yes, we're going to make a pocket with this beautiful piece. As always, I'm leaving a bit of a border. I'm not sizing it up to the edge of each piece of paper. I'm not doing that. It just makes it easier to fit it into a journal, and also I often, well, I do trim the edges of my pages. I like all my pages to be the same size. I don't like them sticking out when you put them in a journal. I don't mind if some are shorter, but I definitely don't like them to have that kind of strange triangular shape because they haven't been cut. So I like to give myself a little bit of wiggle room just in case I have to trim the edge and I don't want it too near the spine of a journal, because it will be really difficult if you're trying to open and close your piece. I am trying to work out, if I'm honest, I think I'm going to cut this down a little bit more, but I'm trying to work out if I want it to be another piece that opens like that, because I personally really liked that one, and we've only got one of those in the journal. So I think we'll have it open again as another side one. I will need one of my stronger magnets, I think. Okay, yep, that is looking good. So it could open. Should we make it open that way? I think the other one opens that way. Doesn't really matter. It will just dictate where I then put them in the journal, depending on where it opens. I have a thicker piece of tea-dyed paper because I think that's going to work best to give us that, what's the word I'm looking for? To give us that stability as we're putting things in and out of it. Needs to be on this side. What am I doing? Yeah, I wanted that in it. Let's put it on this side. Okay, and let's just, come on, I'm going to need my magnet. Nope, there's a pocket on the front. That's okay. I was trying to work out there is going to be an acetate window on this, but I don't think it's going to be on this actual pocket itself. I mean, thinking about it, I could have it go all the way through. It would be going through 3 layers if I did it that way. Okay, let me think. Let me think about that. I'm going to stick the magnet down because then the magnet at least is on. And I'm trying to think, I should have a square big enough. I should have a square big enough. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to remove that because I'm thinking this might have to go through my die cut machine. So I don't want the magnet on there because, let's move this a minute. I just love when I change my mind. So the piece that I wanted to use, is this garden piece here. I also really like that one, but I think this garden piece is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to trim that down. And then I need to find a die cut that's going to be big enough to kind of fit around there. So let me grab that. I'm hoping one of these should work. They're the Sizex framelets, and it's the 665662. Lots of sixes there. And I'm just wondering, I want just the frame. That's the thing. I definitely want it bigger than that. This is going to cut out a slightly bigger frame. That's the problem, because it cuts both of these, and that is too big. This little bit in the middle, perfect for what we want, but this piece, that would be too big. Although I've got an idea, so we are going to use that. Now I want to use this. It's some Tim Holtz fabric. I love both sides. Look at how grungy that side is. It's brilliant. And I want to put this on as a pocket. What way is it opening again? That way. That way? Yeah. So we're going to have this as a pocket here. And we've got this. So I kind of bring this on to size things up. Yeah. As you can see, I don't really measure. I'm going to cut that down here. I love this paper, this Tim Holtz paper. I really do. I love both sides of it. So we're going to bring this on as a really large pocket on here. That's okay. This will then go in the middle of here. Yep. Now what I'm wondering is, do I want to, this is quite sturdy, so it doesn't really need anything else on the other side. But you know what we do need? Okay, I'm coming back here. Coming back here. Try not... How is it going to open? It's going to open that way, so it needs to be folded this way. On there, I want that piece. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. What I need to do is, I am just going to glue on 3 sides. That's what I'm going to do. And put that down there. Like so. It's just on 3 sides because I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, but I still need to be able to add my magnet and other glue. So I just want it attached because I'm going to have to cut through both of these pieces. Let's cut this down. You'll see what I mean. It all sounds very confusing right now, and it kind of is because I haven't done something like this before. And I'm sorry if you can hear noise, guys. I just need to have the window open at the moment. Sorry, I'm just moving things. So I'm going to have to basically put all of this through the die cut machine together in one, and that really means that I need some washi, but I don't want this washi to be too tacky. I want it to have very little stick left on it, because some washi has more stick on it than you would think for tape that's meant to be removable. So I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. So I've used that, and what I'm really hoping is when I take this off that it's going to all come off and not be an issue. Oh, I'm so sorry if you heard that. I have actually closed the window now a little bit, but obviously not enough. Yeah, I'm hoping it's all good. Yes, that came off with no issue. Right, and let's see if this has worked the way I wanted it to. Now, again, that's too big for my piece, as you can see, but I was going to use this as a frame, and I could stitch around it. Yep, I can just stitch around that. Okay, that's really good. That'll work for me. I could do a different coloured frame, couldn't I? I could do that. Let's take the paper off here and have a look what that would look like. Oh, we've got the orange. We could bring in the orange. Oh, yes, we could do that, guys. So we have the double orange, and I can use this actually on the back of here. Okay, that's actually gonna work for me really, really well. Right, now what I need to do before I start stitching and all sorts of other things. What do I need to do next? I know, I need to ink. Let's ink it all up with some ground espresso. Do you know what I realised I don't think I've been using on a few makes? Maybe it was just yesterday's one, I don't know. But I haven't been using the walnut, nope, the forest moss. Haven't been using that. So I might bring some of that in on here. So I definitely need to go either side of this, because you are going to see it all the way through. Oh, which I kind of love. Yes, I do. The rest can definitely be inked up when I'm busy doing that. Let's also, what I want to do here is I want to round these ends for the pocket. And the other thing I want to add, if I can just grab it, is I want to add a little thumb notch. And I'm going to do what I often do, which I like to add them over to the sides. I don't always like them in the middle. I like to mix it up a little bit. So let's now ink around all of this, like so. Okay, now I'm trying to think of each process. Now this needs to be right in the middle here. Now I know there's some gapping, but we're going to add the other piece. So I'm trying not to worry too much, because this is going to need to be around this piece, and it will need to fit straight into there. So I'm thinking this, even with a little bit of gapping, fingers crossed, should be fine. And am I going to put it in between? I need it on here. That's what I need it on. Yeah, this is what I need it on. I need a piece of paper underneath. Okay, let's try and glue this in place as much as possible. I'm really hoping this is going to work. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and we try something else. You know, I'm not going to stress because there's not many days left. Oh, it's just so pretty. And I want this to be Poe's garden. I think we've used this image, from what I can remember, in one of my other makes with Poe and his beloved in the garden. So I want that. Let's bring this in and see. Oh, you see, that covers that up brilliantly. Yeah, that's really, really good. Okay, so the thing is, this is going to be inside a pocket. So now what I want to do, because it's going to be inside a pocket, is I'm definitely going to bring in some washi. I can't find, hold up. Sorry, I might just have to use the gold again. You're not going to see it. It's going to be in a pocket. So it really, really does not matter. But I'm going to bring in some washi just to hold this in place, because as you're putting something in and out of this pocket, I don't want it to catch on the acetate, because we won't be using the other frame on the inside of, is that too big? We won't be using the other frame on the inside of here. You'll see what I mean when I show you. So I need to, is there a piece of acetate over there as well? I need to have the washi in here holding it in place, like so. All right then. There will be stitching too, but just on the inside. I don't want this acetate catching on anything that's been put in and out of the pocket. And you can see I'm not putting the washi over it, even though that should be covered, but just on the safe side, I don't want the washi over the image or over the bit that's got the die cut piece on it. I hope that makes sense. Oh dear. So yes, we're in the garden with Poe, and I'm sure many of you are waiting to hear how it ends. Does Poe get his beloved back? Well, stay tuned, because I will be telling you. Okay, I need to trim this down like so. And I need to cut this back out. Not with that. That would really work not very well. Okay. All right. Yes, that came out. Brilliant. Okay, let's just move all that away. I don't need these for now. Moving those back over there. Okay, so we have this now. And yes, there is a gap, you can see. But it'll be fine once I've done this. Now this all has to be lined up perfectly. So I need to glue this pocket down now. I hope that's the next step. Again, I haven't done it quite like this before, where it's so many layers, but I think it's going to look really good. Let me just dab the excess off on here. All right then. This is where, again, I need to really make sure that this is, no, I need it under here, all lined up perfectly with the edges. That's what I need to make sure. That is too low. Okay, right, that should be Yep, that's it. Oh, perfect. Let's put that back on there. Okay, I'm going to ink around this like so. And this will be stuck on the inside of here. Like so. Need to get to the inside bit too. Trying to blow the dust off there. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm going to need my glue book over because I've got to glue this quite well before we come on and stitch it. We wouldn't need to stitch. If you were doing it this way, you wouldn't need to stitch because it will attach to the acetate. So realistically, you don't need to stitch it. But if you have a gap like I have, I just want to come on and make sure that that gap, right, I'm dabbing all this excess off because it's meant to be going on acetate and I don't want a load of glue everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everything is absolutely secure. So I will be stitching. It'll add to the effect anyway. Oh my goodness. There's still a little bit of glue, but that's okay. Oh my goodness me. That worked out better than I thought it was going to. Fingers crossed it continues. This is going to go on the inside. Now we're going to get to the part where I am going to finish off the inside of the pocket. We're going to add the magnet now. And we're also going to glue everything down properly. Oh, come on, glue. I literally just cleaned my nozzle out because I was having problems. And now it just... Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, I just cleaned all the nozzles and all my glues because I've been using them a lot. And I just felt like they all needed a good clean on everything. You can see I'm going around these edges here. We do have like gapping here, and that's already glued down that bit, but that's all right. I can still get underneath here. And I think the last one I have to get under is right here. Okay, now we're going to press everything down very carefully. Okay, need to make sure that it's all pressed. And again, this is where stitching will help, but you know, I can go in with the glue a little bit more if I need to here, like here. Not enough glue, so I'm going to go in here and just press that back down. Plus that has washi on it, so it just took a little bit longer for the glue to actually really take. And there. Okay. Whoop. Glue has fallen over. All right, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come on with my completely splattered bone folder and just really press those down and around the magnet. Okay, does that need... I feel like that still needs a little bit. Okay. All right then. Perfect. Right. Now what I want to do is I'm going to come back on with this frame, and we are going to put it on the inside of here so we finish it all up neatly. Oh no, that's not going to work. I've just realized that won't work. I've also just realized I've glued all that down but I need the pocket here. How far has that glued? Let me have a look. I need this to be a pocket. Okay, maybe I've made a boo-boo. Maybe I have made a boo-boo. Huh. So if I was to put something in here, let me have a look. It's not going to go all the way through. Huh. Okay, okay. That's all right. That's okay. I'm going to get it to work. I will get it to work. Huh. It was going so well, guys. It was going so brilliantly well. But I made a boo-boo. I did. I still want that in there because it finishes it off. So I'm going to do that. I mean, theoretically, we're going to have a pocket we're not going to be able to use. If I just glue it to the acetate, then... Okay, I'm not sure. We're going to adapt. We're going to move and we're going to adapt. That's what we're going to do because we have to. I have no choice. Oh, no. Okay, it's all right. It is all right, Bill. It is all good. Because realistically, we didn't need a pocket on the front then if this isn't going to work. All right. And if I stitch it, it definitely won't work, will it? Are you all saying that? It's okay. What is under there? Is it a piece of glue? Right, let's just fold this over now. Okay, okay. As I said, I haven't made something like this before. If I had the right die, that would have worked brilliantly. I didn't have the right die, and it hasn't worked the way I'd hoped it would work, but I'm not worried. I probably should be, but I'm not. I'm not worried. I need that to just be folded a bit better. Okay. All right, because you see, I had an image. Where is my image? Oh my goodness. I had this image, which I wanted to put behind here so that she looks like she's walking in the garden. Do you see? But she might actually have to go on the inside completely. But then what was the point of this? Can we even put anything in there at all? At all? No. No, we can't. So what was the point of that? What was the point, Belle? Especially when I stitch around it, we're not going to be able to. Huh. All right, we'll pretend it's not a pocket then. That's what we're going to do. Because I need to go and stitch around this. What I also want to do... Oh, dear me. Best laid plans and all that. Well, it's been a long month with a lot of makes, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit of grace and go, well, this one didn't work out, others did. Okay, I want to, you know what I actually want to do? I don't want that edge. No, I don't. I suppose it could look like a faux pocket. That could be a thing. And what I want is, I'm going to round the ends. What end do I want to work around? I want to round these ones. Like so. I like how that looks. And I'm going to ink all around this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch. Then I'm going to stitch on here. So I have stitched all the way around there. I also did a straight stitch around here. Now again, my machine's just not liking straight stitches at the moment. So I came in, and the few areas that I thought could use it, I used some of the Tim Holtz tape, which is great because it's grungy and it adds to the whole feel. However, then I had another idea. Because I do want something to be able to go in here as a pocket, but I don't want it coming out of the bottom when it's in a journal, I cut a bit more of that paper that I've used as a pocket on the front. I've just cut it down, rounded the edges and inked it. Now, I really don't know if the magnet's going to be able to go through all this, but, you know, we'll work that out if it doesn't. And I just want it to go on as a little pocket in here. Fingers crossed this works when everything's dried and we've made our tag. What I'm going to have to remember is to make the tag really flat at the bottom, because there's not a lot of room for it to slide into there. So I need to think about that. This has just been a challenge. I still really like the way it looks though. It's going to look great on a page. Let's see if that magnet will work. Oh, it does. It does still work because these are the stronger ones. Yay! Oh, this needs to be inked too. So next part is we might start on the actual tag. That's what we might do. I just love the fact that you can see it through there, but when we make our tag, then we're going to need to be able to have her low enough that she is going to fit inside that piece. So what realistically I need to do is I need to kind of put that in here, because it is going to fit in there. But I need to see where she needs to go to be able to fit where that is. So I am going to, that's all the way down the bottom and she is there roughly. I need to make life hard for myself. She needs to go all the way down here. So I've just done a little line there. That's okay. Let's move the pocket that was a problem to one side for now. And let's start decorating this tag. Now I might even make it slightly shorter, because it doesn't need to come all the way up here like that. I mean, it can do, but I don't think it needs to. So I'm going to cut the tag bit off and then turn that bit into the tag bit. I think I want to back it with some paper first. Will this fit on here? Oh, perfect. This is the bit we cut off the inside of the pocket. So let's glue book. Sorry, looking for my glue book. Let's glue up this tag and put it on the paper. I am wondering how it will take if I stitch. I am wondering about that, but I'm not going to worry too much. Obviously, it was going to be trouble being the last make. Not the last make of the month, but the last make for Creep on June, the story part. I just want to have, not that I'm not having fun, but I want to have a lot of fun with the last piece, or just make something, you know, that I don't have to think about adding to the story, that I just want to play with. Whether I will add tomorrow's one to the journal or not, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I'm not intending to at this point. So we'll see. Trim. And we're going to trim. Where is my pencil mark? There it is. Right on the other side, Belle. Right there, Belle. Oh, dear me. Seriously? Okay, so yes, I need to have that. That is my pencil mark, isn't it? There. Yeah, I need to have... Do you know what's going to help? Do you know what will really help? We could make this a journal card. Hold on. Let's not make it a tag. Let's round all the corners of this and just make it like so. Aha! All right then. Of course, I still don't know where the top is. This is at the top. That's what I need to think. All right. So we're going to need to get her stuck down onto here. Yes, we are. And there is this piece in the kit. I just love this. I haven't used it on anything else yet. I'll probably use it somewhere in the journal. Let's do it this way. But for the moment, I haven't used it anywhere else yet. And I'm thinking that I want to use it on here in the background. I think that will look nice. And because I'm going to be covering up the piece that I literally need to know where she goes, I'm just going to draw my line all the way across. I can rub it out if I have to, but I need to do this. All right, where is my ink? I'm going to do that. I don't know how much is going to be covered, so I'm just inking what I need to ink. It's going to be far too big for the whole piece. That's okay too. We are going to just add this into the background. There. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we're going to do this. Yep. Perfect. All right then. Move that over. Yeah. So I hope that goes to show, guys, that even if things don't quite go to plan, there's usually a way you can make them work. It may not be the way you originally wanted them to work, but you are going to be able to make them work. Now, where is she? There she is. And she's going to go about here. She's just so beautiful. So I'm sure you're wondering, does Poe get his beloved back? Well, the way I have decided that I want the story to end is that, yes, he does get her back, but inspired by fairy tales and myths around the world, I have decided that the Reaper, that Death, will honour Poe's request because Poe has proven himself in his journey around looking for all these creatures. He's proven himself. So Death will honour Poe's request. However, Death will only allow her to return. We're just going to decorate now. Oh my gosh, that looks good in there, doesn't it? Yes, that looks good on there. He's only going to allow her to return every full moon. So there is one particular night of a full moon, but it's sort of full 2 days either side. So that's a 3-day kind of period for full moon. So what's going to happen is from sunset, the night of the full moon, to sunrise the next day, has to be in the evening, she can return and her and Poe can be together, because death cannot change. She's died and it was her time, so he can't change that. He can't allow her to fully return, partially because he doesn't want loads of people come knocking on his catacomb door and having to deal with them all, but he doesn't want them all to return. So what do I want? Do I want the green and the gold? So he has said to Poe that she can return. This is my metallic wax paste in turtle green. She can return on the night of the full moon from sunset to sunrise the next day. Her and Poe can be together for that time period, and she will be as mortal as possible. So not a spirit, not a shadow, nothing like that. She will be flesh and blood, is as such, for that particular time period. But as soon as the sun rises the day after the full moon, then she will have to return to her tomb until the next month. Now, is Poe going to be happy with this? Probably not. He wanted her to return completely. But, as Def is going to point out, it is better for her to return a little and Poe have that time with her than for her not to return at all. And it's his reward for all the challenges that he's been through on his travels. So Poe is going to have to just be grateful for it. And so I'm going to go there. Do I want a flower behind there? And so he is going to wait every full moon. I don't know if I want any of that, but I don't just want to put her down. I have to remember I can't add too much because of the this was meant to go on the top. I remembered that. It might go on the front. I'll make a decision. Yeah, I can't add too much because of the, what's it called, guys? Because of the pocket. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness me. This is so flipsy flopsy, that one. So yeah, Poe's just going to have to be grateful. Right, that one works. He's going to have to be grateful for what he can get. And so he's going to return home and wait. In my mind, he's going to have to wait at least a week before the next full moon. And he's going to have to return home and wait for her until the full moon comes and she'll return to him. And when she does, there's going to be tears of joy and laughter, and she will be just as she was, with no memory at all. For that short period of time, she won't remember the pain she was in or how she died or anything. She's just going to remember Poe. That is Death's gift to her, so that their time together is not spent in sorrow on her behalf, because that's not what Poe or anyone wants. And they can just be together. And then she will go back to her tomb at sunrise, and Poe will wait again until the next full moon arrives. There's going to be more fluff, not fluff, but stuff up there. Don't know if I'm going to add the wings, the moth, or what I'm going to add, but I feel like I want to stitch that on, so I'm going to go and stitch that. So some of you may be disappointed. You might have wanted them to be completely reunited, but I feel like this is more in keeping with a Gothic story. And, you know, I feel like it feels very Poe-esque for her to return on a full moon. And it links in with some of the creatures that he's met, you know, werewolves, change under the full moon, Dracula is out at night, you know, in the night time and all that kind of thing. So a lot of the creatures he's met will be out and about at night, and I feel like that's only right for her as well, in my mind. So yes, he's going to sit waiting in the library out that window that's slightly broken, waiting for his beloved every full moon to spend that time. It also means that he's never going to travel far from his house. I mean, he's done a lot of traveling in this story. So realistically, if he never travels again, that's great, because he has certainly been to lots of places. So, you know. But he doesn't want to leave his house because that is where she is. And he just wants to be nearby. And he certainly never wants to miss a new moon. And so till the day he himself passes away, he is going to be in this house waiting every full moon for her. And then when he does pass, they will be reunited. And to this day, if you visit that home around a full moon and look out of that library window, you may see a couple dancing and laughing. Oh my goodness, I love it. In the moonlight, look, because she's in the moon there. She's wandering the garden. Can you see that? Is it showing up well enough? She's wandering the garden, but before a full moon, the garden is empty. So yes, you yourself may see someone see you have all these in the garden under a full moon, reunited at last with their love. Where is it? I have two images. I didn't know which one I wanted to use. We've got the library again with the full moon, but we've also got this one, which is him just waiting. And I'm wondering about putting him kind of on the front. I sort of wanted him on the front. Yeah, I think he'd look good on the front, but I don't know. I wanted the moon because he's looking at the moon, but we've got this here. So we'll see, but this is definitely part of the tag and it's working. It fits inside, and I'm wondering actually, we could still actually put some graves on here because she's going to come out of her tomb. Yeah. So, yes, you yourself should visit Poe's home. He has long since passed, but the stories of his spirit and that of his beloved continue to this day. Now we're going to do with these what I have been doing, where I'm going to bring on the texture stamps. I don't know if this one needs it. Bring on some texture stamps, and we're going to add these onto here as well. Just ink around these. So, and the texture stamps again are CBT001 5. I know I've been using them in all my makes, but I did buy them I bought them recently, and I've just been enjoying making them, using them. What are words? So, yeah, that's what I want to do, is use these. So that's the story. You can visit. But here's the thing, guys. Someone was looking through his library, since Poe has long since passed away. And when they've come in to get the house ready for tours and things like that, someone who turned up may have found this book, this journal that I'm going to create. And it's going to tell Poe's story of what he has been through. So that's where I'm going with my story. So I do hope you like that ending. As I said, I feel like it fits in with Gothic endings. It feels right. And I'm sure he lived several happy years, or many happy years, after her loss, meeting her once a month. Hey, if there's a blue moon, that's 2 full moons in a month. So sometimes he'll see her twice. But he's just going to be happy that he gets to be with her for that time. And then, yeah, the day he passes, she will meet him and welcome him. And then they will be together, finally, forever. Which will make him beyond happy. I want to use these, so I'm going to get these out. Can't use that, it's too chunky. I had a little raven, but I think it's black. I don't know if I wanted the black one or not, but it might work. We put the little black raven down there. Shall we add some gold to it? Let's do that. Could have embossed it, really, couldn't we? We can add gold and emboss it. That's not a problem. Actually, I think I just like the gold. Okay, so let's get this on here. And then I'm going to put this into its pocket, and then we're going to finish up the outside bits. I don't know how long this video is going to be because we got a bit stuck on the pocket. But the raven's going to go down there just like that in the gold. Hopefully. Hopefully you don't mind how that looks. I think it looks okay. Again, like with everything, I might come on with some crypt paste actually. I need to make it quite thin. But I might come on. I just can't have anything too chunky because there's only so much space in that pocket. See? Ah, love it. All right, let's decorate the front now. I did have like this gate, and I was going to bring on the gate because, you know, garden and all that. I was going to bring on the gate. I also have a little metal piece that I love. So I was going to bring that on too. Do we want the wings on top of here? I feel like they kind of work because they look like a raven's wings, but they're also, I think it says it's angels on my, let me see if I can grab it, guys. Here it is. It's the Sizzix Tim Holtz cut and embossed. What's it called? It's just called Winged. 664248. It's one of those deep embossing folders that also is the die, the cut. So I feel like they could work on there. I mean, they could even go on there, but I think they should be on the top with thread and things. That's what I think. What do we think? I think it goes. We could have the metal there. We could have lots and lots of leaves and things going up and around here. Had a feather. I don't think I want the feather. I wanted this. I got gifted some of these, but it says 29, And I think it works because it's day 29, guys. So, you know, I think that works. Could have the fence off to the side. Lots of ivy and stuff. What do we think? That could actually cover up that piece that so it doesn't look like a pocket anymore. Could cover that. I almost feel like that's too much with the wings. That's what I feel. We could bring this all on like so. That's very ornate, isn't it? But it could work if I gild that up and everything. And we could still have the wings. So let's see if I like that. We've got to cut it about here. So let's see if I like it. If I don't, then I don't. But I need to be getting this sorted. So let me line this up. Like so. Do I like it all the way across the top? Or do I like it, do you know what? Do I even like it on the inside? I kind of like it there. Do we mind it with the wings? Do we? I don't think I do. I don't think I mind it. Okay, we're doing that. Then I don't know if I want the gate then. That might be too much. Might be. Where was Poe? Oh, do you know what else? We've got these little ones. We've got these little things. Where was Poe? Here he is. Oh, do I want to cut him out? I don't know. I don't know if I want him on the front. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start gilding this. This and this has to be in that purpley colour, the chameleon wax in violet. It has to be in that a little bit, and then a lot of gold, I think. So just a little bit of this, because again, it reminds me of Raven's Wings, because they have that kind of, well, it's more of a blue really, but I think I do have some blue wax actually, but I haven't used it anywhere else. So I'm just going to come on with these around there. Let's move all this around like so. Going to have a lot of purple as well. Not purple, gold. A lot of gold on this. So can you see that? Yep. Again, this is one of those makes that I kind of had the pocket and the basic tag in my mind, but I wasn't sure what else I wanted to do on the front. And that's okay. I don't have to know everything. What I'm doing, a little bit of gold on here to just pull that gold, and to have the purple but to push it back just a little bit. Oh gosh, I don't want to rip this. I'm hoping you can see that. I really am. It's just so pretty, guys. It really is. Right, let's bring it onto the feathers now. Oh my goodness. I love that gold accent on there. Ugh. So Raven's Wings, Angel's Wings, whatever you want to think of them as. They just seem fitting. And I pulled them out to use and then completely forgotten about them. So where is the pocket? Here we go. We're going to glue this down on there. Oh my goodness, I love that. Does it work with the orange? I feel like the orange needs more inking. That's what it needs. It needs just to be dulled down a little bit. And then I think I'm going to come on with a little bit of the grey. Well, it's not grey, is it? It's forest moss. But it gives us that kind of grey splatter feel. Or I can do that through it. It's fine. Okay, that works better for me. All right. We're going to bring this on here so we cover up the faux pocket that didn't work. It's all good. And then I'm going to do this. They're going to dance in the music to the wedding songs. And Poe's going to read her poetry. And they're just going to be so happy together. So happy. He's going to write all those poems about her. And again, she's not going to remember that she's dead. She's not going to remember how any of that happened. She's not even going to think, why can I only see you in the evening? She's going to be gifted with none of that. Just the memory of Poe and enjoying it. Because he doesn't want her to have pain or worry or sorrow. And neither does Death. None of them want her to worry. They just want her to enjoy her time with Poe. And I feel like Death would have actually spoken to her spirit beforehand and said to her, you know, your beloved has come looking for you. He wants you to be returned to him. What do you think about that? And he's gone through this and this and this. And then he would have discussed with her the rules. And she would have accepted those in a heartbeat. But she's not going to remember that conversation she had with Death. She's not going to remember any of that at all. But he would have spoken to her. Because he would want her permission. You know, Poe might want her back. But that doesn't mean it was the right thing for her. So Death is going to want her permission. Before, oh my goodness me, before actually agreeing to it for Poe. And I'm sure Poe would be like, oh, why can't you just give her back to me? But that's not how it works. But as I said, she won't remember that conversation, but she would have said yes. Anything to be with her Poe yet again. Let's just move all this over. Anything to be with her Poe. Oh, I wish I had like a love heart or something for here. I'm just wondering, how far down does that go? Do the wings go? Okay, because we could put the 29 right on there. Now, I think it's, what is it, every 28 days, the full moon? But still, what do we think about the 29 there, or even on there? It goes really well there too, actually, doesn't it, guys? But we need something. Something needs to go there. I do have another one, but we don't want two so similar. Or do we? Do we not mind them? That's the thing we have to ask ourselves. We do need a raven. The raven needs to be on the front of here too, definitely. Do I like the 29 on there? On there? Like that. I like the 29 on here. So that's what we're going to put it. So his journey with all the people he's met and all the things he's been through and all the things that have really scared him, because let's be honest, guys, a lot of things out there were scary. With all of that, he's just going to be so happy he did it, because he will get his beloved back. So I am just going to add a load of flowers and vines on here. So this is what it all looks like now. I've put some thread behind the raven. I've added sticks and ivy and all that kind of thing. And then I was wondering what should go on here. And I thought I have this little skull. And I think the skull will go on here really well. And then what I was thinking is that we actually make this skull, put the glow-in-the-dark embossing on it, because under the moonlight, don't you think that you would be able to see the gleam of the skull? Or I think so. And actually, while I'm at it, right, that can go over there. While I'm at it, I'm actually going to add it also. I can find my embossing pen. Which one's this? Yeah. I'm going to add it to this moon, which should be good. Let me move this back over. Add it to the moon. I don't even mind if it's around the moon a little bit, because, you know, moon glow and all that kind of good stuff. I'm so happy I found this again. Yay! Okay, let me heat emboss these and attach the skull. So there we have it. You can see that it's been embossed, both the moon, it's shiny, and the skull, like so. Yep, and I added a little bit of faux tape down there just to fit in with the tape that's already in here. And she's going to fit in there. That's it. Oh, I do love that so much. She's in the garden. Okay, now I also picked out, I found this, and all my days are trances, and all my nightly dreams are where thy dark eye glances and where thy footstep gleams. And I thought that might work quite well in here, just as something, as a bit of decoration on the inside of this pocket too. Hopefully it'll still, I don't know if the magnet will close over all of this. I need to find out, because if it doesn't, I need to do something about that. I am hoping it does, but this can go in here, because I feel like that's what he is doing whilst he's waiting between one full moon and the next. His days are trances, and he just wants to think about oh, it still does, good, because these are really strong. So that's through the tag and that other bit. He just wants to think about his days and waiting for her to turn up. And now I can't find him sitting, hold on, because I think maybe in here I'm going to add the other tag of him waiting by the moon, or he could even be on that side, but I think I want to add it just here of him. I will have to back that and everything, but that would work like that. And now I have, at midnight in the month of June, I stand beneath a mystic moon. And, well, I wanted to add this somewhere. I didn't know where I was going to add it. It might work on here, because, you know, he's waiting for the mystic moon. Oh, would have been good if I'd done it before, or even up there. That would have worked, wouldn't it? But then we wouldn't see a lot of that. The raven's really stuck well. I mean, it still kind of goes there. It does work. At midnight in the month of moon, I stand beneath the mystic moon. Put it out. No, I kind of like it over here. I think it works. It does for me. I don't know. You guys might think it's too much all over this one side, but I think it works. So we're going to put that on as well. Don't know if I can have it all the way glued. Hold on. Let's just pat this on my glue book. At midnight in the month of moon. The month of moon? No, the month of June. The month of moon. Right, I feel like it's all coming together now. I do. There's just one thing left that we need, guys. Say it with me. We need splatter. We need some splatter. Okay, we're actually going to pull her out because she needs to be splattered as well. We need all of this covered up. But we also need this covered up. So thankfully I still have this that can go on top. And I don't want that number. Don't really want the number touched either. I definitely don't want her face touched. Okay, and let us start splattering. Oh, I feel like it's all coming together now. It's all coming together after a lot of, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and shall I add this here, and should I add this here? After a lot of that, I do feel like it's all coming together. I want gold on here, I think. I was thinking red, and I was thinking the brown, bronze, but I think I want the gold on here. So I'm going to use my Winsor Newton gold, which just keeps clumping at the bottom. But this is quite an old one, so that's why. Oh my goodness, there we go. I have to really pull to get the lid off this one. Okay. All right, guys. And off to the side a little bit. And just bring it down. We don't need it over here and over here. Yeah, want it on the wings as well quite a bit. Down here. I want her to look as pretty as possible. Put so much on there. Okay, and then we're going to come on with the black splatters, I think. Do 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 do. Just a few little black splatters here. Okay, and again up here and over these bits. We don't really need it. Just a little bit of black over here. I'm just going to pull that black in because it's all very concentrated in one area and it might look a little bit weird. So let me take that off. Do I think it looks too weird? Yeah, I need just a little bit down here. That's less the ink and more just ink and water. Just need a little bit, like, I still want to be able to read it, which I might not be able to read that. Okay, quick. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just, is it already on there? Okay, that might be too much on there. All right, well, you can still read it if you get up close. Oh, there is literally ink everywhere. Right, so they are basically dry. You see all that beautiful splatter on there and the iridescent gold and purple. I love that so much. And you can kind of read it. So we have our pocket and we have our tag. So yeah, you want to get it up and see if you can look at those wings, guys. And there she is. And she will fit behind here. Like so. Let's go down a bit further. That's it. So, there we have it. Poe at the end of his journey. He has faced many different creatures and challenges and obstacles and monsters, and he has finally made it through the guardians of the Parisian catacombs. He has faced the Reaper themselves and asked for his beloved to be returned, begged, told the story of their life, whilst the Reaper listens intently. And then the Reaper decides, I'm going to go and speak to your beloved. So he will go and see Poe's wife, Virginia, and ask her, do you want to be returned? I can only do it under strict conditions. And she immediately says, yes, of course I want to be returned. I need to be with my loved one. I just love him so much and he's in so much pain without me. Please let me ease his pain and be returned to him. So the Reaper comes back and says, I can return her to you, but the condition is it will only be under a full moon, from sunrise, so from sunset to sunrise, under a full moon. And when she does return, she will be a mortal, not a spirit, not a creature. She will have no memory of her death, no memory of her pain, no memory of her time in the underworld. She will just be in the moment with you. And that will happen every full moon until the time that you yourself, Poe, pass away. And immediately they both say yes, because they'd rather have even just an hour together than an eternity without each other, or a year without each other. That is worth everything to them. And so Poe returns home to his house that has been so empty, and he busies himself writing in his journal, documenting all his travels, everyone that he's met. And then he waits. He goes into the library, her favourite place, and he sits and he waits by the window until there is a full moon. And when that full moon rises on sunset, from out of her tomb, which he can view from his library window, there she walks in the garden, singing, waiting for Poe. And he will rush down, and they will be in each other's arms, and they will just enjoy every second until sunrise the next day, when they will kiss goodnight and goodbye until the next full moon. And she will wander back into her tomb, and he will wander back into his house and wait until the next time they can be together. And he will do that until the day he himself passes away. But if you do happen to travel to Poe's home, which is now a place of historic interest, and you do happen to be there on a full moon, look out of the library window, because I'm sure you will see the spirit of both Poe and his beloved united again, dancing and singing in the garden. And yes, they may just see you watching them. And that is how it's going to end, guys. So I do have one more make for Creep on June, but as I said, this will be the end of the Poe sort of story. The other tags might go in. And this will be on, oh my goodness, this will be on a page in the journal. I have loved how this has come together. We had some challenges. I certainly did, but it has come together. There will be a large pocket behind. Then this will open up because it will be glued on these three sides. There's a little pocket over here. And in that pocket, we will have the tag. You can see the garden without her. And then under her full moon, she will return. There's space enough to add other little tags in there if you so want to. And we have the number 29 to remember that this was make 29. Yes. Oh, I just love that shine. So that's it for now, guys. I will be back with just one more video for Creep on June. But I hope you have enjoyed the story I have been weaving. As I said, I'm actually going to try and write it so that I can read it to you in its entirety when I actually finish the journal and do a flip through of it. So please do stay tuned for that, because that will be coming probably in a week to 2 weeks time. I just need to really work on this journal now that all this is done. And I really hope you have enjoyed our story with Poe and that you like how it ends. It just seems very, very appropriate. And now that's all I can imagine is them together under a full moon. It just seems a magical end to a story full of sorrow, but a story full of adventure and magic. So that's it for now, guys. Please do like, subscribe, share and comment if you haven't already. I deeply appreciate it. Head over to today's creator in the collaboration to see what wonderful piece they have come up with. And I will be back soon with another video. But from me and from Poe, it's time to say, I hope you're having lots and lots of creepy, crafty fun. And bye for now.